Welcome to our magical world. Step into a place where hope shines, dreams grow, and every story glows with kindness. The Whisper and the Palace of Hope. Once upon a time, between gentle green hills and a silver river, lived a poor family whose kindness shone brighter than gold. There was Nena, a seamstress with warm hands, Paul, a strong father who could fix anything, and Sami, their curious little boy. Yet its door was always open, always welcoming everyone. They had little food and no coins, but plenty of kindness. The villagers often left small gifts by their door. One summer evening, the sky darkened strangely, as though a curtain closed too soon. Birds fled. The air carried a sharp warning. A storm broke loose. Fierce winds rattled doors, thunder roared, lightning flashed white blue, and rain poured heavily, drumming on their fragile roof. With a groan, the roof collapsed, mud walls crumbled. The family rushed outside, holding each other tight as the storm swallowed their home. Villagers called to them. "Come to my house," said the baker. "Take my blankets," shouted the seamstress. The river swelled, bells rang, neighbors shouted with lanterns in hand. Grateful yet heavy-hearted, Nena, Paul, and Sami shook their heads. "We cannot burden others forever. We must find our own path." Paul did not laugh. He believed the world spoke in many voices. But Nena, Paul, and little Sami stood with hope in their eyes. They believed a new beginning was waiting for everyone. They packed what little they had: a tin cup, needle and thread, a small knife, their woven mat, and Sami's grandmother's flute. With tears and promises, they thanked their neighbors. "We will return one day," Nena said, "when we have something to give again." At dawn they set out, past flooded fields, past broken fences, until the path thinned into dirt. Ahead loomed the mysterious jungle. We are simply searching for a place to belong. Inside, air grew damp and cool. Birds called, monkeys chattered, vines hung like ropes. Sunlight dripped golden through leaves, filling Sami with wonder. After long walking, Sami spotted something beyond the vines: a broken arch, moss-covered pillars, flowers peeking between stones, an ancient ruin. "This was once a grand place," Paul murmured. Nena traced the carvings gently. Sami whispered, "Wide-eyed, it feels like it remembers stories." Though broken, with no roof or doors, the ruin offered shelter. They spread their mat in a dry corner as night approached. The ruin had no roof, no doors, and no food. But night was falling, and they decided to stay. By firelight, they ate the last bread. Paul told silly stories. Sami played his flute. Nena shared the last bread. They was happy. For a short time they forgotten what happened. They lost all, but they have themselves. Then came a voice soft as moonlight on water. "Welcome," it whispered. The family froze. Sami asked gently, "Who are you?" "I am the breath between stones," the voice replied. "I am what remains when roofs fall. When doors are gone, I remember." The whisper spoke kindly, like an old friend. "Long ago laughter lived here, songs lived here. Now I hear them again. We have nothing, no treasures, only our promise to do no harm. Say, Nena." The whisper answered softly, "I know storms. They are forgetters. That is enough. This place has waited for hands like yours." They slept beneath the round window and dreamed of stars falling like seeds. In the morning, the ruin had changed: vines woven into a mat, a gourd bowl of water, a stack of dry wood. The bamboo gave a little. The river shared its heart. The squirrels remembered their hidden food. Paul lit a fire with hot stones. Nena brewed tea in their tin cup. Sami laughed softly. The ruin welcomed them. Whisper was very happy to see that. Days turned to weeks. "Left," it whispered, and Sami found jackfruit. "Careful," it warned, steering him from a strange mushroom. "Sing," it urged when silence grew heavy. Days became weeks. The family learned the rhythms of the jungle. They learned where the bees made sweet honey and how to leave them thanks. They learned which leaves could hold soup. They learned that if they hummed the right tune, the monkeys would sit still and listen. Each evening, stories filled the ruin. The whisper told of festivals long ago, of fires, of songs, of laughter once forgotten. Sami, Nena, and Paul shared their own stories too: of the village, the wise seamstress, and ribbons tied on a scarecrow's arms. The whisper sighed with joy. Kindness builds, it said. Kindness mends. And the ruin seemed to glow warmer each passing day. With a thorn in its hoof, Nena moved slowly, with palm leaves held wide so as not to frighten it. Sami played on his flute. The deer lifted its foot. Paul plucked out the thorn and rubbed the hurt. The deer bounded away, eyes bright and grateful. That night, a family of deer left a ring of wildflowers around the sleeping place, white and blue and gold. Another day, a storm grumbled on the horizon, and birds raced toward the ruin for shelter. Come, Nena called, her voice warm as bread. There's room. The birds edged in and shook their feathers dry. The whisper hummed, pleased. Once it said, this hall held kings who were too proud to share its shade. Today, it holds birds who do not know the word pride. I like today better. Sami rescued a baby monkey tangled in vines. It hugged his neck tightly. Soon, monkeys brought daily gifts, berries, feathers, pebbles. From then on, the monkeys brought gifts, berries, feathers, shiny pebbles. When the sky turned honey color, will we live here forever? Sami asked. The whisper breathed. Home is where kindness is shared. Yes, this can be your home. Over time, the jungle became more and more lush. But in the village over the hill, the villagers were still suffering. Fields flooded, bakers without flour, shepherds without lambs, seamstresses without clothes. One dawn, a weary traveler appeared at the arch, shawl torn, dust on her face. Is there kindness here? She asked. Nena welcomed her with fruit and water. Paul mended her shawl. Sami played flute by firelight. She left smiling, her spirit lifted. Soon, more visitors arrived. A boy searching for a goat, a grandmother who loved butterflies, a girl longing for comforting songs. Each guest brought something: small seeds, thread, recipes, laughter, each left with courage, food, or stories. The ruin became a circle of giving. The villagers had lost everything, yet joy filled their hearts when they saw the kind family again. The baker, seamstress, and shepherd came carrying flour, wool, and cloth. Let us help, they said warmly. The family's faces lit with kindness, with open arms and warm smiles. They welcomed the visitors into the ruins, as if greeting old friends. Together they rebuilt, weaving roofs of reeds and cloth, stitching leaves into rain-proof shelter, cooking dumplings shaped like little moons. They worked, they eat together, they sing songs. No one gave orders, no one asked for pay. Kindness flowed like a river into a lake. The Nena's voice trembled with hope. Could this place be a home for all who need it? Sami's eyes sparkled as he answered softly. It already is. Stars glowing through the round window. Sami smiling confidently. At last, sunlight streamed through the round window. The whisper whispered, thank you. The ruin glowed, blessed by golden light. And so, the ruin became a true home where kindness built walls stronger than stone. And the whisper sang, welcome, stay, begin again. The village lay in ruins, broken homes, empty fields, and in every face, only sadness remained. With hearts full of kindness, the family led all the villagers toward the jungle ruin, a place of hope waiting to be reborn. Children laughed as monkeys swung overhead, and deer grazed by the waterfall. The palace was alive with joy that the whisper glowed brightly above, showering the palace with golden light. It was as if the stones themselves began to breathe again. The ruin bloomed into a shining palace, as Sami's flute filled the gardens with a melody of peace and promise. The villagers found a new home. The whisper's work was done. With one last gentle glow, it faded into the night, leaving behind a palace filled with love and kindness. Thank you for watching. Subscribe us, comment, and like, and see you soon.